I'll get lost in Dan go.
Jacket's terrible.
Jacket's
I gave it to my brother. I don't remember.
I was going to see if she wanted to sell merch when we were on stage, but I don't expect her. I don't know. Maybe we'll just
Already?
stand by until we get off.
Alright. Hey everyone, it's Jenna here with Damnation Vault, and I am here with Gorgatron with Matt, Cam, Coop, Paul, and Carl. So how are you tonight?
What?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
First night, tour kickoff is already.
Fuck yeah. So you're about to release your Agony Reborn EP. So first of all, let's talk about the album artwork for it. Who did it?
Because you can go to Instagram and type in CBS and I don't remember his actual name. But there's a little bit of color in that, and he only does black and white. So that's the first piece of color. It's like not really that noticeable.
You kind of see it. Like, what was your
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean. Alright, and we'll be back, right?
We are back in a quiet place now. So, yeah, about when you first saw the album art, like, what was your initial reaction, and like, how do you feel it really embodies like the EP, the energy it has?
Well, I'll take this one. I really like the album artwork right away. Agony Reborn is pretty much about being reborn as a cybernetic organism for butchery and savagery. So the record cover really encompasses that, I feel, just with like the sinister nature, and then just with like the red glow in the eyes and everything, and seems to tie everything together.
Okay. And you also released a music video for The Unwilling, and like it has definitely some dark undertones to it with like the surgical stuff. Like, where did you find those videos? And
that's all public domain footage.
Okay.
From like the 1940s and 50s of psych ward, so lobotomies, electric shock therapy. There's ice bath stuff.
You know, the good old.
Yeah, it's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about that: it's all public domain and for educational purposes. But that video on YouTube just got flagged for 18 plus. So that, which is kind of funny.
I can see why.
Yeah, but like I said, those videos exist public domain, like for all ages.
Right.
They're all over on YouTube. But.
Only when it's for educational purposes, not for heavy metal purposes,
Right.
dude.
Right. Fuck. No, yeah, that was so the live footage, that was before Coop was in the band. So there's like footage of us playing. That was at Slam Dakota Fest last summer. So I took that footage and then threw a bunch of crazy hospital stuff on top of it, and yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. It rules.
Definitely embodies death metal though.
Yeah.
Yeah, also going back to the artwork, like, so it has like this kind of demonic skeleton with embryo. Like, do you see like it coming alive like during a certain song, or like what is it doing?
Oh, it comes alive when he hits his lead boost for his solo.
Oh yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Agony Reborn, kind of the title track. Yeah, I don't know. That seems way more fitting than the Unwilling.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, the lyrics to that song after the break in that song, that's when things get real.
There's also, we have the cover of dead embryonic cells, and so the embryo and the orb, you kind of make correlation there. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you feel like you really captured the Sepultura vibe with redoing it like in a death metal style?
Well, I mean, they're like borderline a death metal band anyway. I mean, a lot of people call them a thrash band, but I mean, that song's borderline death metal to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we just put our own tones and our own style of vocal on it.
Stayed
Let,
pretty,
let it rip.
stayed pretty true. There's some fucking blast.
Yeah, just blast beats over a thrash beat section. That's the only drums that are different.
Okay.
Otherwise, we replicated it. I think the tuning is different. That's it.
E
Or is
standard.
it- or is it-
We did E standard.
Oh, there's tuning.
Oh, it isn't? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I saw the live version of it on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah. So since like the beginning with like Torchatorium, like all throughout so Agony Reborn, how do you feel like Agony Reborn kind of like captures the entity of Gorgatron now as to where it was like with Torchatorium?
Well, I mean, going back to Torchatorium, that's like 3 lineups ago.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, back then we were a 3-piece, and I don't know. I wrote a lot of the music for it, and I think we've all just gotten better at playing, better at writing songs. You know, the addition of a second guitar player was cool. Do harmonies and other cool shit.
Dive bombs.
The first album.
Harmonized sweet bombs
Sick,
and
yeah,
shit.
dude.
The first album is definitely Rip City. It's like, you like this riff? Here's another one. And another one. And
Yeah,
That's fucking.
yeah,
It's
totally.
kind of awesome,
That's
actually.
what happens when you like write songs by yourself in your bedroom. You just like, oh, I'm bored with that riff. Next one, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's. I think you totally listen to songs now, and they're like better constructed and like catchier than some of the older songs. Even though I like playing some of the older songs still, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a more better like song structure than newer stuff, for sure.
Okay. And like when you were writing some of those songs for, because I know you write all the lyrics.
Yes.
Like, what were some of the things that really inspired you, like right off the bat, where you were just like, okay, now I just gotta, like, if you were walking around, like outside seeing something, or like watching a movie or something.
Well, for Agony Reborn in particular, so the previous record, Pathogenic Automation, I wrote a lot of a lot of lyrics about being turned into a robot designed for killing. Agony Reborn is also about being turned into a robot, but in more of a sinister and kind of like we kind of played off like a cult or like you know, like,
A dystopian future.
yeah,
called-
you know, kind of that
Like-
that kind of vibe with that. And then for the Unwilling, I just wrote about what it would feel like to be vaporized, and that's pretty much it. And then I, you know, cranked it through the death metal lyric machine. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, but I have to say, like, for Inner Supremacy, like that last track, the DC one, that was hilarious. Like, I was not expecting, like.
that is kind of a curveball.
It is.
I had that. I thought the album had ended, and then all of a sudden, I'm thinking like some drunk guy is outside my door, like burping. That was.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to go about
Yeah.
your day, and then that's hilarious.
I was in my car texting when I found those burps, and it was like silence, and like my shit was like turned up really loud. So a big old bell. Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
That was shit. That was either the first or the second song I wrote for Gorgatron.
That's
I
right.
didn't even want to put it on the fucking record. These guys talked me into it. But,
Or wait, are you talking about that song or like the secret?
well, you're saying the hidden track after it, but I'm just talking.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like an
General.
entire track, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's actually the burping from the second record. On the first record, there's a hidden belch in there in one of those songs in the lyrics. So
There it is.
you guys have to go listen to it and find what song has the belch.
There's
Yeah,
also
I
a
remember.
there's a hidden sound effect on the last record too.
There it is. Yes.
Easter eggs.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, the belch on Inner Supremacy, that's him and I trying to capture the belch, but we
You guys drank. You had some beers sitting around
Rain
all
Bell.
summer. Hell yeah.
It's a difference. Yeah. Also, like you know how like the old school death metal has like this certain vibe to it. Like, I mean, Venom, there's black metal, but there's still death metal to it. Like, how do you feel that Gorgatron really embraces that old school death metal sound in a new school way,
Well, I think
or in the
so. Like,
current moment way?
obviously, like our love for old school death metal comes through, but I think where it's different is we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like, say some of those guys, even fucking Glenn Benton doesn't take himself seriously anymore. But he was like one of those dudes back in the day he was all in on that shit. And we're just like normal dudes who like to hang out and I don't know. We play what we play.
Play cool riffs, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the riff. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Fucking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and also to get to know each of you a little
And then I
more,
got
like,
back to it, too.
what was that first song that you learned, whether it be like vocally or like with bass, guitar, drums, that you played over and over and over, and you're like, I have to learn this, and this is why I have to play. What were those?
Oh,
songs
dude, Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen was like, I'm learning this fucking song. Yeah, that was it for me.
Okay.
I would say any song off the Sepultura Rise album, so Dead Embryonic Cells. That's like, I don't know, that's a record we've always talked about covering something off of.
Okay.
So, I don't
I'm kind of a late comer to death metal, honestly. I'd probably say Evisceration Plague by Cannibal Corpse.
Nice.
Well, like the first shit I heard that I had to like learn how to play was pretty much like the Chaos AD record by Sepultura. It was like cool, but it was easy to pick up when you first start playing shit. So like that, and like I don't know, Pantera riffs and Morbid Angel. Those are like the big three probably. So for me,
I cut my teeth to like G.G. Allen, Murder Junkies, Anti-Scene, like punk shit. And then I learned a bunch of Crowbar because I learned about B tuning, and then I've kind of stuck with anything in that. But yeah, cut my teeth on punk. Nothing's
Okay.
changed.
And now I have to ask, like, it just popped in my mind, like, what initially inspired you to start writing lyrics about robots?
To be honest, it was when I was tasked with writing lyrics for Inner Supremacy. The first song I wrote was like, man, what if Terminators had ninja training? Then we'd be real fun.
That'd be fucking intense.
All joking aside, that was kind of what I started with that. But I also made kind of shoehorn into some lyrics about personal responsibility and reaching your potential as a human being. It's becoming a robot, I guess. But you can't really just say like, be positive, stick to your goals in death metal without
PMA doesn't exist. in
you
death metal.
can't really do that. So I'm just like, get turned into a robot by having your arms cut off. Fuck yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of one of those things.
yeah. Blanking out. Jeez. It happens.
Right.
It
okay.
happens. A lot of head injuries. But, like, you do have another album, like an album set to come out next
Yes.
year. So what all can you give away about that? Like, what
It's
kind
our
of
slow
dark?
record. It's the slow album.
Okay. What kind of darkness are you going to bring to it?
it sounds pretty death metal-y. I'll say that.
Honestly, it's pretty dark too sounding. I'd say it. We recently just got artwork back for that. We can't show you because it's confidential. But yeah, I think with the lyrics and the riffs and everything, it's going to be pretty dark. I think we're really liking that right now, so I think we're going to keep doing that. So.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to get out to the world about Agony Reborn? Are there any other music videos also in the works, or is it
I think we have a lyric video and then the music video.
Right.
There is like a visualizer for dead embryonic cells. We originally did that to do during the pandemic. There was like everyone was doing live stream or like
Right.
video. So there is a playthrough video with Paul, Matt, Carl, and Neil, and myself. Probably just put that out just so people can, because we pretty much it's stripped down, like straight guitar take. There's no like overdubbing, and I think the vocals are straightforward too.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a pretty raw track. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for people to be able to see us playing it and recording it. So that there will be one, I guess, for that.
Okay. Oh, also,
Photoshop your head on there.
Yeah.
who was the producer and mixer and master for Agony Reborn?
Oh,
Neil.
Yeah, Neil's.
our old
Old
guitar player.
Neil.
Okay.
Neil Stein, R.I.P.
He also did Agony Reborn, or not Agony Reborn, Pathogenic Automation.
Okay.
We kind of keep that in house for the most part. I mean, even
Well, we did when Neil was around.
yeah,
I think our next record we're gonna go out of house for that,
Okay.
if you will.
Yeah. How do you feel that Neil captured like your live energy that you have when you're playing on stage into Agony Reborn?
Oh, I'll take this one. So Neil channeled his inner anger and rage that he felt with every moment of being in this band, and then he channeled that through his ear into the production. There's not a fader touched that is not completely
groaned
filled with
about.
rage.
Yeah.
Well, the real
Slam
answer
ball.
was he knows what we should sound like because he
Yeah.
was in the band.
Right.
He
So
keeps it true to what we actually sound like live. Raw, nothing no overproduction, nothing crazy like that.
Make no mistake, though, Neil Stein is a swirling ball of resentment, and he
he is fueled by pure hatred. For sure.
Neil rules. Neil's a national treasure.
yeah, he's awesome. He is also very very much alive, by the way. That is, it's a bit.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for taking
you.
the time to do
Appreciate
this
it.
interview. So, any other messages?
Gorgatron.
Sponsored by Liquid Death.
Look at that.
Liquid Death. If you need hydration, boy howdy, I'll tell you one thing.
Murder.
Murder your
You can murder
motherfucking
your thirst.
dude.
GorgatronBand.com for everything else. Podcast and clothes shipped out by hand. He makes them by hand.
Yes, I am I am Gorgatron's treasurer, HR, merchandise, and physician. So first aid, any of that, come to me.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Rock and roll.
Financial advice.